President Trump as he is expected to announce a $100 billion investment into chip manufacturing plants in the U.S. over the next 4 years. We will bring that to you live as soon as it begins. But the announcement comes as those tariffs on Mexico and Canada are set to begin tomorrow, ones that could have major implications on U.S. trade and the price you pay for products. The Trump administration recently paused another imposed 25% tariff on goods like alcohol and vegetables imported from Mexico and 20% tariff on phones and cars imported from China. But the latest and most surprising move may be a 25% tariff on lumber imported from our neighbors to the north, including how supply shifts will affect home buyers, builders, and costs for potential buyers. So with me now to break it all down, COO of Sherwood Lumber. It's a national leader specializing in lumber and panel products, Kyle Little. Kyle, thank you so much for your time. Great to see you. First of all, so we know that these tariffs may be coming, but what do you think the president is looking for with this new order for a trade investigation when it comes to imported lumber?
Well, Nichole, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. I think, generally speaking, the president's been very true to his form in regarding to trying to go out there and bolster American workforce and American industry. So what's happening today in the lumber side is a recognition that about 14 million of the 50 million board feet that we consume annually is coming from somewhere outside of the United States. So I think President Trump and others are trying to figure out a way to how we can bridge that gap and continue to build a reliance on the American industry as opposed to a foreign, beholden to a foreign import.
So, Kyle, as you see it, I mean, obviously, you know this industry well. Is there a way for more lumber to come out of the U.S.?
As far as the capacity of the sawmills producing today, no, but some point in the future, yes. We do have enough timber supply nationally to go and produce the lumber or a significant portion of the lumber that the United States consumes. The challenge we have is those timberlands access to those timberlands is limited. The majority of what the U.S. Sawmills today buy from is privately owned timberlands across the United States, either owned by those conglomerates or REITs and or at the spot market with our large landowners. So access to the federal forest would be a boon to the producers and provide access to hopefully what you'd see is more supply and therefore maybe a lower cost input than what they've accustomed to today.
So let's say, Kyle, that more tariffs are in fact imposed on this imported lumber. They haven't been yet, but let's say they are. What would be the short and then the long-term impacts, do you think?
So this is the challenge I think that we have right now is to recognizing that this is a long game. It's not a short one, and there's going to be major disruption here in the short term if there are additional tariffs coming from Canada or other major trading partners. Canada today is what I said, about 20% of the lumber used today in the United States. And it's been a major factor for the last 25 to 30 years in regard to the construction of single family and multifamily construction. So for the supply chain just to move on a dime and transition to what it has historically done for many, many years, decades and decades, it's going to be a difficult thing. And ramping up production in the U.S. markets is going to be a challenge as well. I mean, these are major investments by large holders, and those investments typically take 2 to 3 years before they start even producing, processing a log into a finished product to be used into the marketplace.
There's certainly a lot of nuance when it comes to this. So, Kyle, bottom line here, if the tariffs were to be imposed, who would be hurt more, do you think? Would it be the builders, who have these massive projects, or would it be the home buyers when it comes to new home construction?
I think in an interview this weekend, Mr. Warren Buffett said it best. Tariffs are a challenge. They don't get paid by the tooth fairy. They get paid by someone, and it's going to affect, at least in the short term, the American consumer. The cost of that home or the inputs to that home will likely go higher. It'll create some volatility in obviously in the price, but also in the availability of the product to the market. So in the simplest of terms, the market's not going to have what it wants when it needs it, and therefore it will create extended lead times for a lot of these projects to commence. So it is going to be a little bit challenging.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.